Hello and welcome to the MVP Huddle with Casper and Cheryl Stockham. We're excited you guys are with us today. We're going to be going through a topic, and the topic is going to be intentional in your marriage. So we're intentionally doing this on Tuesday because you're leaving tomorrow for a couple of days.
Yes, going to see my mom.
All right. So we are intentionally doing this on a different day. But welcome to the huddle. We're going to do this to the top of the hour, and then we're going to be going into more detail on this topic in our MVP private session. But before we get into all of that, let me do a little quick sponsorship deal. So Cheryl and I wrote a book called Divorce Proofing Your Marriage, and you can get a copy of that on Amazon. In fact, we hit the hot new release list on Amazon. We have a free ebook you can grab from our website, IamLoveBuilders.com. And we have a MVP program that we do twice a month for our MVP partners. You can get more information on that. We have a special running right now. In fact, we upgraded our current MVPs, but now you can access all this training live for $29.97 a month, or you can do a yearly subscription as well. Get more information by scanning that QR code. And last thing is we are doing a casting call for our TV show that's going to air later this year. All right, so let's get right into the training.
All right, so we want to talk about being intentional in your marriage.
Yes.
Because, a lot of times things begin to fall apart because we're not intentional. We're not giving our marriage, our spouse, the time that is required. That's why a lot of times people say, marriage is so hard.
Yeah, they do.
Well, is it really? Don't get me wrong. There are challenges.
Yeah.
There are times where it can be hard. You know what I'm saying?
And it takes work.
It does. Yeah. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is putting in the time, putting in the effort, and putting in the work. Mm-hmm. And to do that, you have to be intentional because we're so busy.
Right.
So you might say, so how do you become intentional in your marriage?
How do you become intentional?
Well, the first thing is that you need to make a list of what's priority in your marriage.
Okay.
What about your relationship that's a priority?
Well,
you need to know what those are.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah,
your spouse is a priority. Your children are a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining a home, a safe environment, all those are priorities.
Right. But in your relationship between you and your spouse, what's a priority? So you need to make a list of what that is.
Okay.
And then you need to come up with a plan of attack. You need to have a strategy because these things don't just happen. We have very busy lives. We're everywhere. Yeah. We got children that we're chauffeuring around to soccer practice and ballet and piano and school plays. And then we ourselves have different activities, community and church activities that we're a part of. Our spouse has activities that they're a part of. We got work.
Right.
Some people's jobs are more intense than others. They work 50, 60 hours a week.
Right.
So you have to have a plan. You got to come up with a strategy as to how you're going to make this a priority and make it happen.
Yeah, we plan for all kinds of things. So we definitely should be planning on making our marriage relationship intentional.
Right, because we want a good marriage. We want a strong one. We want it to grow and to be better.
Yes.
And the way you do that is that you start setting a schedule. You got to start scheduling your activities. We schedule everything else.
Yes. So calendar, getting it on the calendar. I know when you have something coming up, you put it on the calendar so I'll see it.
Right.
Because a lot of times we're busy and we're crossing and stuff like that. So you just put it on the calendar. That way I know it's
so
there.
I have a paper calendar. I still have a calendar book that I write in, but we also share an electronic calendar.
Yes.
So I can see what you have on it and you can see what I have on it. So you need to schedule it and then you need to track your progress.
Okay.
And you might say, well, how do I do that?
Yeah.
That means you got to come together and say, well, how are we doing? We had these goals, we had these as priority. Did we reach it? Did we embrace it? Did we attack it? What do we do?
So how often do you think people should track their progress?
Well, I believe each couple is probably going to be different.
Okay.
I personally, for us, I at least once a week do a mini check-in, and then once a month sit down and say, okay, this is what happened this month, but at least a weekly check-in, say, hey, what's up? How we doing?
Right. But a weekly check-in, but monthly at the longest time.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
So what do you need to do? What to do to stay intentional in your marriage?
All right. So these are the action steps.
These are the action steps.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to connect daily.
Okay.
Right.
And so connecting daily is like checking in with each other when one comes home from work or wherever,
Right.
From an outing or something. Say, hey, I'm here. Is anything going on I need to know about?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. And it could be sending a text from work.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, honey, how things going? Sending any kind of way you can communicate. You can connect with your spouse.
Okay.
Just to check in.
All right.
Another one is to love daily.
I like that one.
And that doesn't necessarily always mean sexual intimacy.
Oh man.
But love that, because you remember now when you read the scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, it says that love is patient, love is kind,
Yes.
love it. These things are what love really is.
Yeah, I was just joking.
Yeah. And loving daily also means showing affection.
Okay.
It could be a handhold or shoulder rub or, peck on the cheek, some type of affection.
Okay. A hug or something. Okay.
Yes. And the next one is to encourage and support daily. You need to encourage your spouse and support them daily because, like I said before, we have a lot going on. And sometimes we forget that we are a team.
Right. Right.
And when you're on a team, you check in with your teammates. You have you support them, you encourage them to make sure the relationship is flowing well. Yeah.
I can see if there's some challenging things going on at work, for example, and maybe they're a little stressed out. You just kind of checking in, saying, "Hey, how's it going? I know this week was a lot of pressure going on, or whatever."
Right. Or you have a rough morning because you're trying to get the little people together, and they're just, I can't find my shoes. I don't want oatmeal. And you're trying to hurry up and get to work, and you're running late, and you got a meeting, and you're just like, Yeah. So it's honey, support. It may be honey. Hey, I got this. Don't worry. Whatever it is, you want to encourage each other, support each other, and remember, don't forget you're a team.
Right.
The next one is you want to forgive daily.
Forgive daily.
Forgiveness is key. We all need grace. We need forgiveness.
Oh my goodness.
We make mistakes. We mess up. We have challenges both individually and collectively. So forgive daily. Yeah,
and as believers, the Bible is very clear on forgiveness. In fact, one of the disciples asked Jesus, how often should I forgive? And he's like 70 times 7. And that's a lot, right? So, and the disciples said, oh my God, increase our faith. How do we do that? Yeah.
So those are just a few. We're going to go into more of them on the MVP call. Yeah. But let's go to ways to be intentional.
Okay.
So some of the ways to be intentional is have a date night. Scheduling, having some fun with your spouse.
Yes.
Now, here's a disclaimer here. When you're scheduling your date night, that's not an evening where you spend all evening talking about the children.
Right. You want to talk about
each other.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about the bills. You don't want to get the evening polluted with work, gossip, and stressors.
It's not a planning session.
No.
It's not a time to talk about politics, not a time to talk about all that stuff. It's just time to hang out and enjoy each other's company.
It's time to laugh and have a good time.
All right.
So the next one is schedule some alone time, both individually and collectively. So you can have some time to be alone, to refresh yourself, maybe have some time to vision and dream. The next one is prayer time. Key.
Yeah.
You need to have time to pray. Not only you as an individual, but as a team, as a couple.
Yeah.
Yes. Family, Bible study time along with prayer. You need to have some Bible study time. Family time.
Right.
Make time for topics of discussion. That's when you want to do the heavy stuff.
Right.
Not on your date night.
Not on your date night.
And then the next one is have individual time and spiritual time alone and together.
Okay.
And you want to also have some time, be intentional about growth and marriage growth and development. You want to schedule, make sure you're married. If you want your marriage to grow, you have to put some work into it. So that might mean a conference, a workshop, a retreat,
right?
Reading a book together.
Reading a book, like maybe like this book here.
Yeah, that would be a really good book to read. And then you also want to have a mentor. And when at times when your marriage is at its sweetest, you want to be a mentor.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of couples don't think about that, but there hopefully are other couples, hopefully at church or something like that.
Or maybe a young couple just got married.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as looking for a mentor.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Someone potentially an older couple at church.
Like we have some couples at our church. One couple has been married for 54 years.
Yes.
And another one for 45.
Yes. And they're still together. And
they're happy. Yeah. So these are just a few things. And then you want to be a mentor. Young couple, just got married, early 20s. Be friends with them.
Yes.
Establish that kind of relationship that if they need some coaching or some guidance or just a support or some encouragement, you can be there for them.
Yes.
So that's the shorts and the skinny of it.
That's the skinny of being intentional. And we hope you enjoyed this training. This is the free training portion of this program. We're gonna break. And at the top of the hour, we're going to come back for our exclusive training on these topics. We're going to kind of unpack some of these a little bit further. But you listening to I Am Love Builders, this is the MVP Huddle. This is where we kind of unpack some of the training we're going to be going through for MVP members. If you want to get more information about that, you can go to our website and just click on MVP, get more information about the MVP program. And we're excited to have you here. We're excited to do these free trainings, and we're excited to help you become MVPs. And it's important that you be intentional about your relationships. And you can get a free ebook from our website. You can take the free 5-minute or 20-minute love assessment from our website. You can go to IamLoveBuilders.com. We want you to become MVPs. And remember, at the end of the day,
if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
So we're going to see you guys, some of you, at the top of the hour on the MVP call, and the rest of you, we'll see you here in a couple weeks. Talk to you. Bye-bye.